Welcome to this presentation on FAIR data in practice. I'll be talking about the Metroline and onboarding. My name is Jolanda Strubel and I will be presenting together with my colleague Mark Jansen and also on behalf of our colleagues Lucie Koolhankova, Sander de Ridder and Patrick Dekker. This is regarding the breakout session during the information and consultation session on the same subject. It's part of the oplossingsrichting kunnen of the obstakelverwijdertraject, and in the plateau planning of HealthRI it's regarding the deliverable D3 and D9, and in the HealthRI afsprakenstelsel or general wiki pages, this presentation is related to the pages on the Metroline, on onboarding and on the automatic onboarding of imaging data. Like I said, it's in the obstakelverwijdertraject in the oplossingsrichting 3, especially sub-solutions 6.1, 6.2 and 7.3. And the pages mentioned in this presentation can be found in the general wiki under processes and work processes, that's for the Metroline and the onboarding page, and under application components for the imaging onboarding page. So in this presentation I will talk about activities regarding making data fair and the onboarding of metadata and data into the National Health Data Catalogue. And these are both important subjects in the whole architectural model as shown here. So in red the FAIR related elements are indicated, and in blue the onboarding related elements. And as you can see from this, FAIR and onboarding are also very much connected to each other. Like I said, there are pages in the general HealthRI wiki and the afsprakenstelsel that provide general information on the FAIR Metroline and on onboarding. For those two, this is just the starting point of a number of pages on those subjects. They link to the data team wiki and GitHub, where you can find more technical details and specifications. And these pages in the data team wiki are more dynamic and flexible, and they are frequently updated in line with the developments in those processes. If you want, you can give feedback on those pages as well, and you can contact us on that if you're interested. So first, the FAIR Metroline. The FAIR Metroline is a result from an inventarization and mapping of several workflows that are already in use in projects and consortia. In this picture you see those different workflows as colored lines, and then at the top you see the different steps, and it's indicated which steps are present in which workflow. And we are currently working on describing and adding details to the steps that are indicated here. And we selected a number of these according to the HealthRI plateau planning. Each step has the same template, so it contains of a short description, then why the step is important, what kind of requirement you need to actually perform the step, then the how-to section, which describes a practical approach on how to do the step, and then there's also practical examples from the community and some training links. And the last few months, what we've been doing is that we've nearly completed 3 steps. The defined verification objectives, have a FAIR data steward on board, and the pre-FAIR assessment. Furthermore, we're working on 10 other steps, and we have 15 writers and 6 reviewers currently involved from different nodes. What's next for the FAIR Metroline? We will continue on completing the Metroline steps that are in line with the Plateau 2 and 3 planning. We will expand the Metroline, for instance with funder related steps. We will involve more writers and reviewers from inside and outside of the regional nodes. We will link the information in the steps to the onboarding process for the National Health Data Catalogue and also to training resources, for instance, to the FAIR Lesson Plan Handbook from Elixir. And now some more information on the metadata onboarding. So what is onboarding? In our case, it's publishing of metadata on resources in the National Health Data Catalogue. And resources can be datasets, but also images, biomaterials, etc. And we make them findable and accessible by publishing them in the catalog. We're using the FAIR metadata standard for this. Currently, we have the core metadata published in the catalog. This includes title, description, contact details, and release date. And we're working on an expansion to include health metadata, and that is planned to be finished by the end of this year. What have we been working on in the last 6 months? We've been updating the onboarding process and the documentation, and this has been tested and adjusted while we were working with several organizations and projects to onboard their data. The onboarding process now consists of a request that is sent to us to be onboarded. We then have an intake. In the intake, we discuss what the expectations are, what they already have in place, what is needed to be onboarded. And we have the planning phase where the data provider plans the onboarding strategy in their organization. So who is needed, or what is already there, what kind of expertise is needed, the time frames, who's available, that kind of things. And we've got the implementation where the data provider is actually implementing the FAIR data point and is mapping the content to the metadata standard. And we have the harvesting phase where we collect the metadata from the created FAIR data point in our own FAIR data points, and we check for correctness. And if that is all finished, then the dataset or other resource is available in the Health Data Catalogue and is onboarded. We started on a library of examples for metadata mappings. That's currently just the example of Prisma of the Radboud UMC, and for the FAIR data point implementation, which is currently just an example from Amsterdam UMC. We have developed an onboarding process for imaging data. So imaging data includes things like MRIs and PET scans, etc. And we've started on a frequently asked questions overview. And now my colleague Mark Janssen will tell you more on the work done on the onboarding of imaging data.
Thank you, Yolanda. Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm a member of the Imaging Working Group. I will shortly take you through an example of how the Imaging Working Group is working on onboarding their data. During an intake, we noticed that all UMCs already have internal imaging data repositories. An example of this is IXNAT. The data present in these repositories is already organized. It's categorized on a per dataset level. It usually has a name and a description. And of course it contains the metadata about imaging itself, for example, the number of scans or the number of patients. A goal that we had is to prevent double work and a lot of administrative burden, is to reuse the metadata that's already there, that's already in these repositories, to quickly upload a large number of datasets without any additional work besides the initial implementation of this. How we're doing the implementation of this is as follows. FAIR and the Imaging Work Group co-developed a tool called Image to Catalog, which is made to extract metadata from imaging repositories and upload it to the National Health Data Catalogue. Currently, it extracts metadata from IXNAT fully automated. IXNAT is one of the imaging metadata repositories, used by 7 out of 8 UMCs. And data holders can choose to use a FAIR managed FAIR data point or use their own. On the diagram on the right, we see an example of this, where node A uploads the metadata straight from their research specs using Image to Catalog to the FAIR data point, where it will show up in the National Health Data Catalogue. While on the right, node B uses their own FAIR data point and also chooses to expose the metadata to their own catalog. And what's important to emphasize, the data holders remain in complete control of their data. They can select which datasets to upload, which datasets not to upload, and says that should remain private will always remain private.
Finally, what's next? Regarding onboarding, we will continue onboarding of data from the nodes, so the UMCs and Eindhoven, and we have a dedicated task force will execute this, and the onboarding will include imaging, omics and clinical data as well. We will also onboard from so-called domain nodes, for instance oncology, and this will be done by dedicated experts from those domains. We will continue also onboarding data outside of the nodes, so we're already in contact with organizations such as the NHR, the IKNL and NIVEL and funders and other organizations, and we will extend the library of tutorials and examples for the metadata mappings and the FAIR data point implementation examples. This concludes our presentation. We would like to welcome you to the FAIR information and consultation session on the 6th of December. You can find more information on this on the FAIR website on the news page. And if you want to help out with the FAIR Metroline, or you're interested in onboarding your metadata in the catalog, or you just want more information, you can contact us via service desk@healthri.nl. Thank you for your attention.